Hey gang, it's Squill. I just watched episodes 5 and 6 of Fiona and Cake. Spoilers, obviously. Um, this was a really good, batch of episodes. I think these two are probably, the closest in quality so far. Last week, or for both of the first 2 weeks, the second episode was quite a bit stronger than the first one. I'd still say the second one of these episodes is the better of the two, but they're pretty damn close. Um, I was really excited to see Farm World again, and yeah, I really love what they did with the Farm World here. I I thought it was so cool to see um Farm World Finn kind of I don't know, just a more kind of emotionally distant, kind of solemn version of Finn. I thought that was really cool to see how the magic of the crown um affects him, you know, in a similar way to Simon, um, which is interesting because he didn't have the crown for that long. I don't know how long it would have been in universe, maybe like a year or two. Um, but it's interesting. I loved getting to see Finn's kids. Um, that was that was cool. I think one of them was named Bonnie. Uh, I'd have to check that again, but I'm pretty sure Finn calls one of them Bonnie. Um, it was so sweet when we see old Jake. Oh, that made me that was so sweet. Um, yeah. Also seeing Bartram again was cool. I loved seeing Bartram. Bartram doesn't look old like Jake does though, so that's kind of weird. Um, I loved seeing Big Destiny and his gang again. I like the little love story between what's her name, Jay, and the little Destiny. I thought that whole subplot was kind of sweet. Um, it's cool seeing Fiona and Cake and Simon as a trio. See how they um sort of mesh with each other. I like seeing Cake get used to her new powers. Um, and seeing Fiona sort of get used to having to kick people's butts. um, yeah, this was just a really strong follow up episode to the Farm World episodes from the original show. Uh, I still really like Scarab. I think he's a cool villain. He's kind of one note, but I just think he's really entertaining and cool. Um, yeah, this was just a cool episode. Um, I don't know if Farm World Finn died at the end. It looked like I don't know. I have to watch it again, but it looked like he was just kind of stabbed straight through the his head. I don't know what really ended up happening to them. I think if I had one criticism of this episode, I think it maybe ends a little abruptly. We could have gotten maybe just a little bit of a wrap up to the Farm World story going on here. Um, but I still really like this episode as a whole. I think it's really good. Um, Oh, seeing Q as Bruce again was funny. I liked that Simon was just kind of suspicious of him. Um, I thought that was really good. Um, I just love how Juice Goose is the most prominent character in both of the spin-offs. Um, I think that's just so funny. um, we also see other Farm World variants of characters um Starchy and Wildberry Princess. That was cool. Um, So yeah, this was a good episode, but I think episode 6, The Winter King, is definitely the better of the two. Uh, I mean, those song sequences, they're so well animated. They're so cool. Um, I think it was oh, I don't remember what they're called, but it was the team that did Beyond the Grotto, and it just looks gorgeous. I love the way that both of these musical numbers look, and the songs themselves are good too. Um, and I really just loved the concept behind this episode, seeing a version of Simon who was like able to overcome the crown. I think that's like really creative. And I think, and like, just I think like seeing a mad crazy PB is just so cool. Like, I don't know. It's just such a like it's such a like a novel concept. Like seeing the inverse of the Ice King and PB dynamic we're all familiar with. Um, and like the twist was cool that it was actually just like Simon projecting his craziness onto BB. I I don't really get how him and Fionna kissing like destroyed or reverted the magic from the crown. I'd have to watch that again. I didn't really get that. Um but like otherwise this was just a really cool episode. Um I I liked seeing Gary and Marshall's little subplot. I think it's cool getting to see uh more of the human world again. Um, More of Fiona and Cake's world. Um, I think like I don't know, they do a lot to like set it up in the first episode, so it'd be kind of a waste just to like leave it for 10 episodes, or 9 episodes. Um, yeah, and I just think it's like really sweet. It's just kind of like nice to get a bit of a slice of life story, contrasted with like the crazy multiverse stuff that's going on in the main plot. Um, I really like the way like they kind of thematically parallel the two plots. Um, where like Gary's describing all the candy people, and we see Fionna fight them. Like like really fun. Um, yeah, it was cool. Like, oh, there's a cool reference at the end where like Gary's describing the plot to Slumber Party Panic. Um, when he's talking about like uh how I think how Choco Berry met uh Mr. Cupcake. Yeah, this is probably, I don't know if it's my second or third favorite episode so far. Simon Petrikov is still the best one in my opinion. Um, I'm not sure if I like this more than the Prisma episode or not, but either way, really good episode. Um, yeah, um, I'm definitely interested in seeing where the show's gonna go. I think next episode, episode 7, uh, Simon will find the crown, and then in episode 8 he'll put it on and kind of go back to Ice King mode. That's sort of my speculation. But we'll have to wait and see. Um, Let me think if there was anything else. Oh, we hear that in episode 5 we hear that Farmer Old Finn's like his wife or girlfriend, I don't know if they say if they got married, it died. I think that's like kind of just a cool way to like keep it a bit of a secret as to like who Finn ended up with. Um, oh, Fionna was definitely like blushing at PB, uh, in at the end of the Winter King. So I think that proves that Fiona's bi. Uh, so that's pretty cool. Um, Yeah, let me think what else. Oh, the young Marcy. Um, we see like a young Ice Marcy in the Winter King's castle, and like and then she like dies at the end. That made me so sad. Like, why you gotta do that? um, I love like the joke at the end of the episode. Uh, where like Cake's like covering up the dead candy people, and PB's like, where are all my candy citizens? I think the whole sequence with like PB was just so funny because she's not like traumatized by like being cursed for 100 years. Like she's not. I mean, she probably is, but like I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about all this that just happened. Like, I don't know. PB is so funny. PB haters are so weird because like PB is literally one of the funniest characters ever. She's so great. um. Oh, I loved like the Winter King when Simon like asks him about Betty. He just kind of like, oh, Betty, her. Like I think I don't know. I think that's pretty funny. Um. Uh. I think like I don't know. Just cause like yeah, if, to a version of like Simon, uh, who just kind of lived for like 1,000 years, um, and his most recent years he had his sanity back. Like, yeah, he probably would just like get over Betty just like that. It would just be like just some random girl he dated. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, these were just like a really solid pairing of episodes. I really liked both of these. Um, especially episode 6. Uh, just like such a cool AU concept. Um, yeah, I think I'll cut it there. I'll see you guys next week for episodes 7 and 8. We are officially more than halfway through the miniseries, which is very crazy. All right, I'll see you guys.